Taemin, I didn't have Taemin down for the type of person who bar danced, right? You like
Why
Coyote
not?
Ugly.
You can dance wherever you want.
1, 2, 3.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So, Taemin is back.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem that long ago since he was on his own comeback, like
Yeah.
less than 2 months, right? Where Criminal dropped and Act 1. So now we have Idea and Act 2. But yeah, we saw lots of the teasers, like especially the images. And yeah, it's been a confusing ride, right? We had this like image.
Middle Earth thing,
yeah, he kind of looked like a cross between like an elf and a Nazgul from Middle Earth, right? Because he had like that black veil and the thorny crown, but then also kind of his ethereal beauty. And then there was the teasers where he's wearing the kind of like the white asymmetric crop top, but with the very, like, it had almost like a mid 2000s vibe in terms of like the big buckle and white and kind of the turtleneck element. So that was like a real contrast.
Yeah, basically it's like what's the vibe of this new era?
How does this all tie together?
Yeah.
And we saw a couple of other images which were like him outside with more flowy stuff, and yeah, and we're kind of like originally when we were seeing the flowy stuff, we're like, okay, that's a vibe, and we kind of got an idea. And then, you know, when the Nazgul-esque vibes came in, it was like, huh. And then when the 2000 vibes came in, it was like, okay, we don't know anymore.
Are they all for like, you know, well, the teasers are for like the album, so
yeah.
it's not like, what are we gonna see with Idea?
Yeah, and it's interesting because I think I saw mentioned somewhere that like Act 1 was meant to be kind of like that darker album with like, you know, criminal, like seduction, all that stuff. Not the whole album, but like elements of it. And then Act 2 was meant to be lighter, but I'm looking at these teasers and I'm like, yeah, okay, some pictures, I'm like, and others I'm like, So we don't know what to expect. We don't know what to expect.
We'll find out. Let's find out right
Let's stop putting it off. Let's give the people what they want. All right, Taemin.
Yeah.
Idea.
And we'll be doing an album review soon as well with Taemin, so make sure you click subscribe to get notified about that. And yeah,
well, that'll be coming soon as well. Are you ready? What? Is he in prison?
Ooh.
That's an interesting makeup. It's an interesting aesthetic here, isn't it? It's almost like, because of the way the beading is on the side, it's almost military-esque, but not, because they're like, almost like mimicking medals, but they're not. And then the asymmetricness of it.
Yeah,
and then
it looks like he buttoned it wrong or something.
Yeah.
But no, it's intentional.
And then like these like hardcore print pants with the boots. Guys, I know you're like, the song, but sorry, we just had to admire this look. We'll go back a little bit. See these boots as well. They're actually kind of comfy, those boots, right?
Yeah.
Oh, this is the top, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Ooh.
Whoa.
Oh, what's this Terminator person coming up over here?
I know, yeah.
Taemin, I didn't have Taemin down for the type of person who bar danced, right? You like
Why
Coyote
not?
Ugly.
You can dance wherever you want.
Look at him up on the bar. It's kind of weird though, because everything's so white. It's almost like a bar, but like maybe an asylum of some kind.
It is. I guess. I mean, it feels like more like a high-end, modern sort of urban.
But because everyone's in white,
bar.
it's almost like they're, because you associate those kind of like very sterile whiteness with
I
like
guess.
rehabilitation centers and stuff. So it's kind of giving me high-end bar vibe, 2000s vibe with the turtleneck, but also like rehabilitation of some kind. be reading into it too deep. Okay, I'm going back 10 seconds. Because the music's also a little bit eerie.
Yeah. Oh, he's in a forest.
Oh, with veiled people around him. Oh, or maybe just hunched people. It's kind of weird. It reminds me a bit of. Do you remember What Does the Fox Say when they're in the woods and they're just making noises?
Oh, right.
Like, sorry.
Well, I was gonna say that it reminded me of the soundtrack from Dark. The Netflix series.
Yeah, that was a dark show.
Yeah.
A little bit.
But you know how the soundtrack was like.
Yeah, and they spend a lot of time in the woods as well.
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
We'll go back 5 seconds. But it's interesting because he is no longer white. He's black. Everyone else is white. Whereas before it was all these hunched shapes around him which were black. Yeah. And now is he... Has he just burned down the bar?
That's a cool move.
I'm nearly certain that bar is actually some sort of rehabilitation center.
Yeah.
He's like got the chessboard and stuff, and like the telephone to talk to someone on the other side is like
Maybe.
I don't know.
Interesting.
I like his boots.
The what do you call those? The collars, the feather collars. They're kind of cool.
Yeah, I'm really confused. Like, I know Criminal was kind of like almost like about Stockholm syndrome, and then if this is pairing with Criminal as the title track for part 2, is it? Because he's still talking like Criminal. Like there was a lot of talk about death and stuff as well.
Yeah.
And then My Idea, there's a lot of talk about death again as well, but in a more kind of. Like in Criminal, he's like almost like he's in for the ride. He's like almost reveling in the he's reveling in it in some way. Like he's like because he's very seductive and he's kind of like scissors and chainsaw and like inferno and stuff, and he seems really comfortable in it almost. But here it's like if it's tied in any way to that, it sounds like he's destroying that or something. I don't know. I'm grasping at straws here, trying too hard to link these two things. I just feel like because the title track's of a 2-part album, it feels like they should be tied together.
Yeah.
And then because like Stockholm Syndrome is obviously in some ways, even though it's like an emotional abuse, it is in some ways a mental illness, in which case does that tie into the feeling I get of this place being an asylum that he's like destroying?
Maybe. Yeah.
Like destroying his demons.
Yeah.
I don't know, first watch when you're trying to simultaneously watch the MV, the dancing, and the lyrics at the same time does not make for the best analysis.
Because like certain lyrics are like standing out to me, like when he talks about like, you know, you're my messiah and stuff like that.
Because people who are in like drug rehabilitation or in poor mental health often turn to religion and stuff, or focus on a very solid, like one thing that's pulling them through.
Maybe.
But the
your
other
idea.
The other thing is the Criminal itself, like, was kind of, I'm not gonna say it was a happy song, but like from a melody point of view, it was kind of, the music wasn't grim. This music's kind of creepy.
It's eerie.
With the
Yep.
It's like Stranger Things noises and stuff, and it's kind of
Yeah, it's definitely an eerie vibe.
It's meant to kind of be a jarring song, so it's I don't know. The whole thing is very confusing and would require multiple watches and listens to get a full grasp on.
He's looking demonic here.
He is looking demonic, but in a different way. He's looking demonic in a crazed way, whereas before, when he looks demonic, it's almost in a you want to join me way. And this way, it's like you want to stay away from me way.
With stuff burning behind him.
Yeah. Because, like, are the people with the collars meant to be angels?
Maybe.
Are they meant to be angels, and he is there as the Messiah or as the person surrounded by angels?
Well, he's saying you are Messiah and killing me softly.
But if he's if there are two versions of him in this MV, is he talking to himself? I don't know. Again, we need to rewatch it and listen to the lyrics better, but it's just, they seem, he's like high, elevated, stairway to heaven, angels, wearing pastels. And then here, everyone's black around him. Like fallen angels. There are no feathers anymore. And they're literally falling on the ground with red underneath them.
True.
I'm reading into these metaphors a lot. Heavy-handed forcing of metaphors here. Finally, I open my eyes. So he's one feather around his neck. So I don't know, guys. You know, I'm, as you can tell, pulling a lot of various things, desperately trying to link two videos together, even though they might not be linked.
I mean, it makes sense. Like, some of it is definitely true. Like, you got definitely the angelic and the more, like, hellish vibes, because you got the red, you know, the dressed in black, the, you know, angelic sort of, and light, bright.
Well, and literally you have him standing at the top of the stairway to heaven, essentially.
Yeah, exactly. So I think, you know, like, some of, you know, the analysis you have is definitely spot on, I'm sure.
Thank you. Thank you.
But it definitely, like, warrants another watch and look at the lyrics.
It's because there's so much going on in the MV, and the music is so jarring, like with the it's kind of, it's not that it's not catchy, it kind of is, but I think it's going to be one of those ones you're going to have to listen to a couple times to get a feel for whether it's a little bit too on the, like, jarring side to really be like a staple in your playlist, or whether it's like a specific mood sort of song. Does that make sense?
Because, like, this, on a first watch, this music video is very cinematic. Like, the chorus, it definitely wasn't a chorus on a first listen where it's like, you know, you're just like chair dancing too. It's more ooh, what's happening, you know, like, this is what's next, like, why is it so eerie, what's happening there. It's atmospheric. It is really atmospheric.
But even like and like I feel like it's going it's still moving. So and it's interesting. It's just an interesting MV. I mean, it's like one of those ones that are perfect for like some sort of video, like classroom environment where you're like, here's a video, analyze this. and then they go to dinner on it. there's a lot of symbolism in here, and I'm curious to rewatch it more, and then curious to see if I can, what you guys think about it in the comments. Am I close? Are you kind of thinking the same thing, or is there actually, does Taemin have an official explanation for this, in which case our speculation is a bit moot in some ways? But you know, art is, even when, like, obviously every artist usually has an intent when creating a piece, but art is usually subjective, so.
Yep, exactly.
But yeah, so much happened there.
Yeah, well, if this is like, you know, the title track of part 2, then I look forward to the rest of the album.
There's a song in the album called Pansy that I'm kind of have my eye on, just because it's just an interesting name for a song.
Yeah.
Like, and now that I've heard the first track of the album, I'm kind of like, interesting.
Yeah.
What is Pansy going to be about? Anyway, so there you have it. We're very confused, but, you know, interpretive reaction. I know for you guys who are just like purely here just for the music and the song, it was probably hella frustrating for us to be pausing every 2 seconds to look at stuff, but sorry, we're just too into Taemin, put too much art in front of us, and we had to try appreciate as much as possible in the video.
Yeah.
All right, well, there you have it. Taemin has been reacted to. But yeah, we'll be back soon with a reaction to the full album, and give our thoughts, share what our favorite parts are, overall vibe, all that good stuff. So yeah, if for some reason you're not subscribed,
do it.
Subscribe.
Do it.
So you can be notified when we do release that album review.
Yeah.
All right, but if you've made it this far in the video,
thanks.
You get a Jeffrey
You're
gun.
Cool.
Do the guns. All right, guys. Thank you. Bye.